Phishing, spear phishing and whaling are some of the most successful cyber attacks because they target you rather than your technology. And when you become a victim, the financial cost can be huge, not to mention how embarrassing it can be. In this video, I'll teach you how to identify these attacks and how not to become a victim. Hi, I'm Dan from Visits IT. Phishing, spear phishing and whaling are social engineering attacks. What is social engineering? It's when hackers, or what we call threat actors, psychologically manipulate you into performing an action that allows them to steal your money, your passwords, or other sensitive information. We're all quite trusting by nature, and even those of us who aren't can become complacent or just in a hurry and make silly mistakes. Threat actors prey upon these behaviours. In this video, I'm going to teach you about how to tell the difference between real communication and an attempted social engineering attack. Let's jump into it. I want to start by explaining the terms phishing, spear phishing and whaling. Phishing is where threat actors communicate with you and pretend to be a legitimate business. Normally, it's an email that pretends to be from a well-known organisation, such as Australia Post, one of the banks, the ATO, or perhaps even a courier company. The email might contain links that, when clicked, take you to a realistic looking but 100% fake website where you are asked to log in with your username and password or enter other personal information, which of course is stolen and used by the threat actors to access your real accounts. Phishing doesn't have to be an email though. Many are phone-based, where the threat actor makes up some story to trick you into giving away information. For example, you get a telephone call from the ATO telling you there's a warrant out for you for not paying your taxes. And to avoid being arrested, you can resolve the issue on the phone now by giving them credit card details or buying gift cards, maybe your bank account number. Basic phishing attacks are random attacks. The email might be sent to millions of people, the calls made to thousands. Spear phishing, on the other hand, targets specific individuals. The threat actors have taken the time to learn about you and your organisation. The most common spear phishing attacks we see are fake emails to your accounts payable team, pretending to be from a supplier and telling them that they've changed banking details. If your account team updates these account details in your financial system, the next invoices that you pay are going to be paid to the hacker. Whaling is a type of spear phishing attack that specifically targets high-level decision makers in your business, such as the CEO or CFO. Senior executives have access to the most sensitive business data and bank accounts. So if you can fool a senior executive, the financial rewards can be very big. In theory, avoiding a social engineering attack is simple. All you have to do is never give your personal or sensitive information to anyone unless you are 100% sure that you know who you're communicating with. Which means don't enter information into a website unless you're 100% sure the website is legitimate. Don't give your details to anyone over the phone unless you're 100% sure the person is who they say they are. Everything I'm going to teach you now is about verifying the legitimacy of an email or phone call. It's as simple as that. Let's start with emails. You received an email that is asking you to do something that could potentially be sinister. Maybe it's asking you to click a link to take you to a website, or it's asking you to update a BSB and account number. There are a number of things you can check. First, look at the language and spelling. Poorly written emails with grammatical and spelling mistakes can suggest that somebody from a non-English speaking country has written the email. Secondly, look at the email address of the sender. Has it come from the correct domain name? Threat actors will sometimes set up fake domain names that look very similar to the real domain of an organisation. So take a few seconds to double check that it's correct. If in doubt, go to Google and search for the business name and double check the real domain name. Any emails you receive from non-business accounts such as Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo or similar should be treated as highly suspicious. Next, carefully check any links in the email. Do this by moving your mouse over the link without clicking on the link. A little box will pop up showing you where the link will take you. If the domain name of the link is not the real domain name or the business's, it's probably fake. Don't click this link. If there are any attachments to the email, do not open them unless you were expecting the email and you have done all of the checks above. And finally, if at all possible, don't follow links from an email. Instead, open your web browser, go to the website manually or via Google search and look up the information that way. For example, if you receive a parcel tracking number from Australia Post, even if you're expecting a parcel, the safest thing to do is copy the tracking number, open your web browser and go to the Australia Post tracking website and check the tracking number on the real site. Another example would be your electricity bill. Don't click on links in an email. Go to the real website, log in and get your bill that way. It's always going to be safer. Note that if you're accessing your email from a mobile device, to see the sender's email address or the details of a link, you might have to press and hold on the links for a few seconds. It's a small extra step, but well worth the time. If you're not sure how to do that, practice on an email that you know is legitimate first. What about phone calls? The concept is still the same. If someone calls you and asks for your personal information, such as your full name or date of birth, don't give them the details. Politely tell them that you will call them back, and then always look up the phone number from the organisation's website. Do not trust any phone number they give you. Lastly, a couple of extra hints and tips for your own personal email accounts. We all have a couple of important email addresses: our official work email address and our personal email address we've had for years and we give to all of our friends. It's really hard to change these email addresses, so try and do everything possible to limit those addresses getting into the hands of hackers. Here's my first tip. Don't use your work email address for anything that is personal in nature. This will help keep your work email spam free, and if you get a bank or utilities email to your work email, you'll know straight away it's a fake. And my second tip, create a personal burner email address. That is, an email address you don't care about so you can change or just ignore it. For example, set up a free Gmail account such as danshopping4512@gmail.com and use this account to register on all the unimportant websites you access. If this account gets a lot of spam and phishing emails, just ignore them. Thank you for your time, and make sure you check out our other videos on cybersecurity for more hints and tips on being safe online. I'll see you then.